To get to the monad, you need to cross the great psychatic plane. A bunch of sand that taught itself to think. It's conductive, so mind your step.
Your first true obstacle is the compiler, an old discarded skull of Urs. Defeating that will make for a great trial run. These are not available to you just yet.
In the ancient past, the mineral body of the earth was raised up. Sand taught itself to think, and it went to war with the etheric living forces of the world. The machine, having previously only been able to shape physical matter, could now influence minds.
skull down and want to go. The psychotic waste, the dustbin of history. At its center is the inner archive. Break and bear and slay to rip open a portal into the next sphere.
Then there are just a few more gods for you to break. You can do it.
Broken fragments joined anew, essences mingling in new and unforeseen ways. Will you be the crucible for this great work? Will you be the one to set the world in motion once more?
End all your great
some heads. Now we have enough energy to rip into the next sphere.
Did that old chrome dome contain an arc pattern? Stay away from it, lest you come under its influence.
You have made it to the terminal of the greatest library ever created. Yet you don't strike me as the bookish type. My quest for knowledge...
Even the name of this place is disgusting.
That machine grub is tormenting itself, trying to somehow achieve consciousness through suffering. That's why this place is such a scriff hole. It's by design.
It's okay, I guess. I think it's one of those games you really need to, grind to really enjoy. Also, I'm sorry that it was lagging. This game was, like, maxing out my GPU. I'm like, you know, I can play, like, Dynasty Warriors Origins and all this other stuff just fine. Game is, I won't call it poorly optimized, because it is running at, like, 120 FPS locked, but it's very demanding. I think this is an Unreal Engine 5 game, so that makes sense. I'll take demanding over, you know, running like garbage, though, so... But yeah, they put out an update that made the builds more interesting, so I went ahead and picked this up last night. Can you hear me? Hope you can hear me. Let me see. See if my mic's on. Yeah, my mic's on. Okay. Yeah. I don't really like these boss fights, though. Stupid how your dodge is not invincible. Weird how you have to, like, get a build to be invincible during a dodge. It's kind of stupid. I get why it's designed like that. Just to make it harder, I guess, but... maybe this weapon just sucks. Grind to get the good weapons. Okay, are you gonna, like, let me attack you at any point? I don't really care for these boss fights. Walls of armor, as always. I like if there was like a just dodge or like a parry, the bosses would be like fine, but they give you a dodge, and it's like, it feels pretty responsive, but then, like, you're not invincible during it. It's like, why? Why are you not invincible during it? There's no, like, just dodge counter or anything. This game really does feel like, friend slop. It's probably a lot more fun with people to play it with, but... that's how everything is now. It's balanced around a, player base that doesn't exist. This game was also, like, way too expensive for a friend slop oriented design. It's like $30. I got it on sale for $15, but at launch this was really expensive. I think they should have cut their losses and charged less. It's really hard to make a game designed around, like, a player base and have it be expensive. It's usually a recipe to, not have the game do well. Or, like, you gotta wait until there's, like, a major update that's, like, coinciding with, like, a sale or something. But yeah, main criticism of this game is the dash. Like, why is the dash not invincible? You're fighting a bunch of stuff, like, nothing staggers in this game at all. Like, don't have any kind of pain animation whatsoever. You think, like, you're gonna make it so everything is a wall of armor, that there would be, like, a better defensive option, but there's not. You kind of just can't really defend yourself in an interesting way in this game. Seen people begging for a parry. Like, yeah. Some people don't like that everything has a parry or a just dodge mechanic now, but I think this is a case where it would be better if it had it. As much as people complain about it being a overdone mechanic, personally, I think it's a good mechanic. I don't feel like I can ever avoid damage in this game most of the time. I'm just kind of stuck taking damage because you dash and you're not invincible, like, at all. I don't understand the reasoning behind having you be stuck in, you know, having you be stuck in, you know, no invincibility, like, whatsoever. I really don't get it. Apparently the game was a lot easier before this update. I guess they're trying to make it harder, but I don't really find the difficulty being not having good defensive options to be very good. I think that's kind of whack, honestly. Is it co-op focused? Yeah, this is a pretty good co-op game from what I heard, but I think combat design suffers because of it. This game is probably immensely frustrating to play, like, skillfully. Just get hit by stuff, you don't really have a lot of control over it sometimes. Builds are definitely more interesting than they were, though. That was the main thing that held me off buying this. turned off the talking. They talk way too much. It's one of those games where nobody ever shuts up. They talk so freaking much. Like, nah, just stop talking, man. I don't want to hear it. It's one of those games where your character doesn't talk, so there's a bunch of talking heads that yap. Like, how about just no talking at all? Couldn't really care less about the story. This game is really oddly demanding, though. I think that's part of the reason it didn't do as well as I thought, because like most friend slop games run on a toaster. This definitely doesn't. This game should not be like maxing out my graphics card. I'm sorry. There is nothing about this game that should be taxing my computer. Play like way more demanding stuff than this and have like no problem. I really don't know why they thought that making it... I think this is an Unreal Engine 5 game, actually. It probably explains everything. But that's not a good way to make a co-op focused game. It really isn't. The game's gotta be easy to run if you want it to be successful. And the fact that this can max out my GPU despite how it looks is really weird. I really don't think that that should be the case. It's like why League of Legends is popular. It runs on a toaster. Fortnite runs on a Switch. Maybe not particularly well, but it does run. Yeah, biggest pet peeve with this combat is nothing staggers. Walls of armor, and it's just a weird mix with enemies that don't stagger, like no invincibility frames. Like you should at least have some, like maybe have like less, but get more later. Why is that some games run fine? Well, it's just a very demanding engine. It's a double-edged sword. It makes it a lot easier to make games. Makes it way easier to make games, but at the cost of, you know, the requirements just go through the roof. So, for a game like this, that's depending on, like, a large player base, and it's designed around co-op, it's not good to have it be so demanding. You know, DFO, you could play that game on an integrated graphics card. Like, you didn't even need a video card to play that. That is undeniably one of the reasons why that game was so successful. You know, Hi-Fi Rush was Unreal Engine 4, but it, like, didn't stutter at all, because they knew that with the whole, gimmick, you know, of the gameplay where you're playing to the beat of a song, they can't have it be stuttering, right? They said that they worked really hard to get rid of the stuttering. Like, yeah, that game would have been unplayable with it stuttering. Unreal Engine 4 was the same, yes. But again, it was really dependent on the game. You know, Arkham Knight barely worked at launch. Arkham Knight was a disaster at launch. One thing that helped was pre-compiling shaders. Really helped a lot. That was something that they should have been doing for ages, but they just kept being negligent with it. Yeah, but does it really matter if it makes it easier? It's like Monster Hunter Wilds, where the game barely works. I'd argue no. I think they were expecting a lot more players on this game, but it just didn't have enough content. And then I can honestly say, after playing it for like 2 hours, the system requirements don't help. Most friend slot games are called that for a reason, because they're something you can play with people that don't have crazy hardware. But seems like you need pretty crazy hardware to play this, which is gonna deter a lot of people. Is that and the price, I think. For $30, this just didn't really have enough content, so. Unreal Engine 5 just increases the system requirements a lot, and like, the games don't look any better. That's the problem. I'm sorry, this game looks pretty good. It has a nice art style, but it shouldn't be maxing out my GPU. like I've got a computer that can run pretty much anything at 120 FPS with maybe a little effort on my part. The fact that this is so demanding is not going to help things at all. Most of the popular friend slot games are pretty easy to run. They're designed so that like everybody doesn't have to have a crazy computer. You don't have to have a esports content creator computer to play them. But I think these guys forgot that. But they are trying to improve the game. This update seems like it's been a pretty big success, critically at least, getting people to play the game again. I think they made the game a lot harder. Uh, 4 was the same thing as 5, but system requirements were comparatively a lot lower. Again, it depends on the game. Like Kazan ran perfectly. Kazan was perfect. Kazan like pre-compiled shaders, and it had some lag sometimes, but not enough to really impact the experience. I think it was that game was really solid. I think the Kazan developers were smart enough to realize that if you want people to do just guards and crazy combos and stuff, you kind of need to have the game actually run. Because if it's gonna stutter and stuff, it kind of ruins the whole game. This game doesn't have that problem. It's mostly just it should not be taking as many resources as it does. Like, the fact that I put it down to medium and the game looks exactly the same and the usage has gone down by 1/3 is really weird. This game really isn't doing anything that crazy. I would argue Dynasty Warriors Origin should be like more demanding than this is. It's order of magnitude more stuff going on. Origins was actually a really good port though. The enemies not staggering, I think, is really dumb. I don't know why they don't stagger. It's because they're too scared it's going to be too easy. When you're in a party, it's like, well, not many people are playing this game anymore, so... it's Marvel Cosmic Invasion all over again. It's not even, like, a combo game. It's just the fact that they don't react to anything. It's really dumb. I really don't understand why it's like that. It's like, dude, just because something takes hit stun doesn't mean the game is too easy. Feels like I just get hit by stuff, I don't really have a lot of control over it. I can't stop anything from attacking me. You'd think like these big attacks would at least make them flinch somewhat, but no. Even this little bug is immune to hit stun. Feel like over-reliance on hyper armor has made action games so much worse. It doesn't make the game too easy. It makes it actually fun. You feel like you have like more control instead of like that where I dash and I can't stagger him. Just walks through it. This game is alright, I guess. I think the other games I play are exponentially better. I don't know why, like, being able to have invincibility during a dash is something I have to, like, grind for. I think that that's really stupid. It doesn't really seem to add anything to the game. It's like, this is how it should be in the first place. If there was something in here that made your dodge invincible or gave you like a just dodge counter, I think the walls of armor would feel a lot less frustrating, but it really does suck the fun out of this game. It doesn't feel like you ever have control over the enemies because you can't stagger them. And it probably feels a lot better when you're in a party. I don't know how balanced this game is for solo. I don't know if it's like, solo leveling. Solo leveling was basically there was no point in partying because you got the stats went up so high. The movesets are kind of like not interesting either. Like, they're alright, I guess. It definitely would feel better if they weren't stuck in hit stun all the time. You were able to like actually stagger things. But, nobody seems to want that anymore. It's like, no, if the enemy reacts to an attack, the game is too easy. We can't have that. It's like, no, well, I'm fighting hordes of enemies and no one reacts to anything. They walk through it. It's not very fun either. That game is okay, I guess. Definitely not top tier. Definitely, like, mid-tier. By my standards, anyway. It's alright. But... I've seen that the bosses turning invincible and stuff, like, stops being a problem after you, like, build your character. So that's good, at least. But... I don't know. The defensive options feel non-existent in that game. You can't jump cancel, your dodge is not invincible, and you can't ever interrupt any attacks. So, it feels very half-baked. It's like hyper armor is not even an inherently bad thing. It just needs to allow you to, like, actually, fight back. And feel like you have more control, but that game really does feel like you just have to memorize the movesets. You can't rely on invincibility. The problem is, fighting mobs is probably a lot more fun with people to play it with. I'm almost positive it's, most of those problems probably go away if you're in a party, which is like the definition of friend slop. They did not design it to be played with solo, I guess. Or it seems like the new player experience is kind of not very fun. I don't know if I'll keep playing that game. It's alright, I guess. Maybe if I can find somebody to play it with, I'd be more willing. I'm definitely getting tired of that design, though. Just no hit stun on anything. Let's give this one a try. Apparently people went through that Godbreakers game in like 10 hours, so I think they made it harder. Apparently it wasn't as difficult as what I was just playing, but the combat just doesn't feel that good. Nobody wants to make enemies that react to attacks anymore. They're scared of it. It's pretty stupid, honestly. I don't know when developers thought that having an enemy react to attacks is what makes games too easy. I really do not understand it whatsoever. Problem is, it just increases frustration. Arise was like that. That Godbreakers game, definitely. That gut's actually worse than Arise, because Arise was, you did have a just dodge. That was the big difference between that and Godbreakers. You couldn't cancel into it, which was dumb, but it did allow you to counter at least a little bit. Godbreakers, it feels like the dodge is mostly pointless. It's for repositioning. Oh well, it was only 15 bucks. You don't have to love it at that price. I definitely would not have paid $30 for that game, though. That's way too much for that game. this game either. There's like no invincibility on anything. You just die in seconds. I don't know how this is supposed to be fun. I think I should stop trying these new roguelikes. They're all worse than the ones I like. At least that game is only $8. Yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. The dodge is at least invincible, but I don't understand like why you get like half a frame of iframes. They shred your health bar like that. How are you supposed to play on harder difficulties? I genuinely do not know. Like not everything needs to be a combo game. I don't want to sound like that's the problem. It's just if they're not going to react to attacks, you know, you should give me, like, better defensive options. And then also, if I get hit, I shouldn't be able to just lose my entire health bar like that. Like, that is not fun. It's like one or the other, you know? It's like you can have, like, long hit stun for the player if you can actually, like, put them in hit stun, but both of those games the same problem. They don't take any hit stun, and you do. It feels really bad. Like, which one is it, man? People that make those games need to play some of the better action gachas where, like, you know, they don't stagger. Barely anything staggers except basic enemies, but the difference is you actually have good defensive options. They don't just, like, hit you through your dodge. Which is why those games work. And why you can clear them with shit characters. You don't need to spend $2,000 on maxing somebody out. I really don't get it. It feels like they want to be different when it's like, those things are already figured out for them. It's like Shredder's Revenge. It actually reminds me a lot of Shredder's Revenge. They thought that the being able to be invincible during throws would make it too easy. It ended up making the game agonizing to play. Ended up making it agonizing to play because you couldn't throw anything without like taking like half your health. It's like, you know, they figured this out in Final Fight like 35 years ago. Why change something that's already been solved? I definitely feel like a lot of games really suffer from that. It's trying to fix something that's not broken. It's like, they already solved this 35 years ago. Don't change it. Unless you somehow have something better. Pickup button in Streets of Rage 4 was an example of actually having something that's better. That was an example of what I'm talking about. Like, that actually was a big improvement. That was long overdue. Everything not taking hit stun and then having no good defensive options is not. Yeah, I just posted that in the Discord. What's up, man? I didn't feel like a call today. I kind of just want to just chill by myself. So far, roguelike archaeology has not been going very well. Godbreakers was pissing me off with lack of hits done on anything. I'll give it more of a chance later, but yeah, I don't understand why it's designed that way. It's just not fun, man. At least let me stagger the basic enemies. At least let me stagger the basic enemies. But no one wants to do that anymore. That makes the game too easy. You combo slop kids. You can't have the enemies react to attacks. That makes it too easy. It's like not even about combos. It has nothing to do with combos. That is not the problem. The problem is it's just not fun to fight big swarms of enemies, and you can't like stop them from doing anything. And your dodge is not even invincible, so it's like which one is it, man? Like, it's alright, it's 15 bucks. No big deal. Maybe it'll get mods to fix that shit later. Not everything could be as powered as Overrider, I guess. Yeah, it really, that game really does feel like friend slop. I'm sure most of those problems go away if you're in a party. I've seen people speedrun it. It's not like you can't get around it. I'm just not sure if I like the game enough to get to that point. Obviously, I'm capable of getting good at games, but as I get older, man, it's like, if I'm not feeling it, like, the first couple hours, I'm more likely to just flush it, honestly. I don't really buy that many AAA games to begin with, so if I'm not feeling it, it's not like this crushing loss. Downside to giving games a chance. Sometimes you're just not gonna vibe with it. It's the unfortunate reality. Finding cool stuff like Overrider is not easy, especially with the current climate on Steam. I'm glad that I find most things I play I end up liking, but definitely not everything. Hey, that's fine. Been playing games too long to just like everything. I have a pretty good idea what I'll like and won't like. Took a risk on Overrider and ended up really liking that game. Yeah, apparently the Flash game robots are going to be a separate story. Like, basically, like, retconning them. No one really liked the Flash game robots anyway. It's cool that they're going to still keep that in there, though. I think that's good for preservation's sake, but yeah, I didn't give two shit about them. I already didn't care about actual Blaze Blue story in the first place, so... have any roguelikes to look forward to right now. It's basically just updates to existing ones. Dun Jungle I'll probably like if I give it a little bit more time, but I definitely wasn't really feeling how you have like no iframes on anything. Feels like you can die way too quick, especially because I'm still like new to the game. It feels very unwelcoming. And not in a particularly fun way. I really think roguelike should be a little bit easier on you in terms of, you know, like how much hit stun and stuff you can take. This game got mods, so I was willing to give it a chance. I got it for like $8. It's like, yeah, you know, with that price, I don't really have to super like it. Definitely would not have liked Godbreakers if it was $30. That's way too much for that game. Month until Neo Origins DLC is coming up soon, so I'm gonna have to start playing that again. That's probably gonna take some priority, so the fact that I'm not in love with these roguelikes is not really a bad thing. I gotta like max out my Origins file, start doing that like pretty soon, so this one seems okay. Maybe with the mods I'll like it a little bit more. That level up system on? How do I use that? This isn't very, Yeah, EXP and level system mod. How do I use that? Oh, I guess it's just automatic. I just don't like popular roguelikes. This game is very popular. I'm not really liking it a whole lot so far. Combat's only okay. the Scrimblow Bimblow roguelikes just have the gameplay that I resonate with more. I don't know. I'm definitely noticing a pattern, though. Like, yeah, the ones that are less popular are the ones that I tend to like more. Not because they're not popular, just because they tend to just vibe with me more. Most popular one I've really liked was Absalom. But Absalom is kind of like made for me, basically. A combo-focused gameplay and like short runs, good combat. Combat is like the main focus. Defensive options feel good. I don't think Godbreakers had any of those things. I really didn't have any of them. Missing all of those things, basically. attention. Oh, that's cool. I like that mod. Yeah, combat in this is not really impressing me too much. Seems like a more than functional game, though. So this is like the meta progression. Meh. I'm not really feeling this too much either. Well, both that and Godbreakers are very friend slop oriented. They're not like really super deep combat, but no, it's easier to get into. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I don't really like games like that much. I'm mostly a solo gamer for the most part, so I want depth, and those games just don't really have that. Godbreakers had better defensive options, and like the basic enemies staggered even a little bit. I would like it a lot more, but I don't know. Just hitting things in that game does not feel fun. It always feels just so anxiety-inducing because nothing staggers. You can't ever stop them. Well, I got to get on Origin soon anyway, so it's kind of a failure of a stream. Wasn't really liking any of those games that much. I liked Godbreakers more than that Shape of Dreams game, but that does have like mods, so maybe with the Steam Workshop, maybe people will make it more aligned with what I like. But who knows? Let's see, do I feel like doing anything else? Dun Jungle was only like $8. It felt okay, but game's just like way too punishing at the beginning. I wasn't really enjoying it that much. Maybe I need to give it more of a chance. Oh, that's right. Dragon is Dead update is tomorrow. Well, I already like that game. It just uh, kind of degraded a lot when they did the 1.0 update. I felt like the game got a lot worse. So I'm hoping. Go ahead and look at this really quick, and I think I'm probably just going to go to bed. I don't really feel like doing anything else today. But basically, it's basically going to be a new mode. It's going to be kind of like the rifts in Diablo. 10 to 15-minute run sounds good. Well, so basically less time in menus, which, I don't know, I played this game for like 80 hours. That never really bothered me. But I think that's good. Pacing's sake, nothing wrong with that. So I guess you put these gems... I guess you put these gems in your gear, and it's going to be less RNG. I wonder if that will make it so anything that's not mythic will actually be viable instead of like what's right here. Like I remember these two gave you like eight skill levels, and there was no reason to ever use anything else. That's why I kind of got bored of the game. But it seems like if you can infuse these on it, you might actually have like more build variety again, because the build variety took a huge dump after the 1.0 update. It really did just become Diablo 3. Even the items are the same color. That's how Diablo 3 was. You ever played Diablo 3 after they added the set items? The set items basically were like the only thing that was ever worth equipping, because they just gave you so many stats that putting anything else there was just handicapping your character. But it seems like this is actually going to make it different. So you will be able to make like more interesting builds and stuff. That says +1 additional skill level, so I think that will definitely help make the builds more interesting and less one-dimensional, because I kind of made a good build and the RNG was just so bad I got sick of playing it. It really wasn't fun, especially because like nobody even played this game to begin with. But yeah, that'll probably be the next new thing I'm doing. Yeah, this game was solid, but I think what really hurt it was they went into 1.0 and they didn't let us like beta test it at all, and then the state of the game just got so incredibly buggy, and everybody was review bombing it and stuff because it was buggy, and it wasn't like that before they launched, before they went 1.0. So we'll see how that works, I guess. Other than that, I mean, I still got some other roguelikes to play. Starfire's supposed to get an update soon. Warriors Abyss gets an update later this week. Void, I need to finish the last level. That's basically it. So yeah, there's actually this is a pretty stacked week for roguelikes. Tomorrow, actually, it might even be today. When is it supposed to be? The 15th. They're in Korea, so I think it means today. Let me see when this is supposed to be. Yeah, most likely in the morning. So I'll probably be on again in the morning, and then after that is Warriors Abyss updates on the 19th. So that should be the 18th our time. Those are the major roguelike events this week. Run to Go Blue updates, not anytime soon. Blaze Blue's like almost 2 months away. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, folks. Sorry that was kind of a downer of a stream. I mean, none of those games are bad. I think I probably just need to give them a little bit more time, but I'm more likely to do that offline when I don't feel like I have to entertain anybody, and I can rage quit easier. Shape of Dreams seems alright, but I probably won't roll with it again until maybe it gets more mods or something. I'm not really enjoying the combat that much. It feels okay. It's definitely cool. It's like a MOBA. I think there really haven't been that many roguelikes that are MOBAs. So, and MOBAs are toxic by design. So I think people that like League of Legends and Dota will probably really like that game, because it's kind of like a change of pace. You can play solo for one, and you can play with friends easier, and none of the toxicity is there. But I never really liked MOBAs, so that's probably why I'm not really vibing with that one that much. Dun Jungle I need to give more of a chance, but I think that's more of a kitty sitting stream game, honestly, because I gotta split up my backlog again. Godbreakers, maybe I get a little meta progression on that, or watch some videos or something. I might like it more, but yeah, combat just feels broken. It's like the bosses are pretty well designed, but just no defensive options and no staggering even basic enemies, and no dash invincibility frames kind of makes it not really that fun of a gameplay loop. Realm of Ink actually got an update. They added 1.0 to that, so there'll probably be another roguelike stream in the morning whenever Dragon is Dead updates. I'll see you guys then.